guys, how are we doing? What's good? Alrighty, guys, how's everybody doing? And yes, I did get a haircut, so I look different from yesterday. This is DeFi Mike. Are we feeling the haircut or no? Just be honest. I need to be humbled. Just tell me that the haircut looks stupid, and let me know. But other than that, excited that you're here. Welcome to the stream. If you didn't see before, we are doing 7 days of free value on this YouTube channel. You can go to my last Instagram post and comment, and it's a T and a 1. People are putting T and L. It's a T1 on my last Instagram post, and you can get into the Telegram. I'll also put it in the chat. So I like the haircut. You look 10 years younger. Okay, cool. I love it. I didn't know we had so many hairstylists in here. Well, let's get to it. I know what you're here for, and it's not for me. It's here. You're here for the markets. And today's day one. It's going to be a really exciting day. So continue to share this out. And if you can, do yourself a favor and down below, hit that like button on the channel and subscribe if you want. But hit the like button. It lets more people on YouTube know we are live. Thanks for putting the classes go on. The show goes on. I haven't eaten today yet, but the show goes on. So let's talk about it, right? Day one today, topic, real simple. Real simple. We're going to talk about a little bit of this, but why are banks and exchanges, quote unquote scams? How many of you guys use a centralized exchange to buy crypto? Right? I look way younger. Okay, can we stop talking about my age now? But how many of you guys use a centralized exchange to buy crypto? I had somebody challenge me the other day, said, Mike, centralized exchanges, they are safe, they are okay. And then I sent him this article. FTX has been ordered to pay $12.7 billion of a settlement. Okay, the largest CFTC settlement recovery. And it's because they stole tens of billions of dollars of customers' money. Okay, and this could happen with any exchange. So don't be naive and don't be, so naive enough to say, oh, Coinbase is never going to go down, or Binance is never going to go down, or Kraken will be okay. Every exchange is on the hit list. Now, when we talk about, Coinbase, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Something that is super, super bullish for all of crypto is Coinbase is now going to be a part of the S&P 500 starting on May 19th. Okay? On May 19th, it's looking like it's going to replace Discover, right? If you're in the US, Discover was that first credit card that I ever had. And they gave everybody a credit card. And now they just got bought out by Capital One. You ever seen those Denzel Washington commercials? Capital One, you can have it your way. That's what just happened to Discover. Capital One got their way. So this is super big. Also, there is a bill right now called the Genius Act. This is something that's really, really important for all of us, right? When you take profits in crypto on this next bull run, what are you going to do with them? Where are you going to put that money? You're most likely going to put it into stable coins. What are the two biggest stable coins? Tether and USDC. Tether has $151 billion in market cap. Now, the reason why if Tether falls apart, almost all of these derivative platforms, they're built using USDT. So like you trade on MEXC or on Bybit or on almost all of these in USDT. So USDT goes down, we're in some deep trouble. Do I think Coinbase will pull back? Yeah, we'll go through some charts, guys. Stick around on the class. We're going to go through some charts here in just a couple of minutes. So this is big. This is going to get passed here very soon. This is what they call in the politic world a bipartisan bill, which means it's good for Democrats and Republicans. And this is going to pass. I think it could pass this month. And this is to regulate stable coins. So stable coins right now are technically not regulated. but stable coins are backed by. In the chat, somebody tell me, what are stable coins backed by? What are these stable coins backed by? Well, they're backed by the dollar, okay? And if the dollar wants to remain a thing over the next couple of years, the DXY, or the value of the dollar, it could drop, and it most likely will drop somewhere into these 90s. If you guys have been one of my students for quite some time, you know, we sniped the top of this. So we are breaking structure, and probably tomorrow, I'm going to do a class on YouTube here at 4 p.m. EST talking specifically about market structure. How many people want that? A market structure class tomorrow, 100% free. It won't be an hour. It might be 20, 30 minutes max, but we're going to talk about market structure and how to identify when structure is broken. So make sure you're here tomorrow. But the dollar just broke and created a new low. So even if we pull back, I still see a bearish DXY here for the time being, somewhere in here. And then maybe it rips. The scary thing for the dollar is that the dollar, I think one day will come back up here. But that doesn't mean crypto has to crash for that to happen. So here's the point, is you had, did you guys see this? Citibank stable coins, 1.6. It was like 1.6 trillion. So Citibank is projecting, this is a big US bank. Citibank is projecting that the stable coin market in 5 years will be at 1.6 trillion. I mean, that's literally half of the size right now of all of crypto. Yes, guys, 4 p.m. EST every single day for the next 7 days. 100% free value. Jump in the Telegram, though, to get updates on everything. And I just put the link to the Telegram in the chat. So make sure you guys are in that Telegram as well. We're going to be doing it on YouTube, and then I might do 1 or 2 pop-up Zooms in the next couple of days. So if I do any Zooms, I will send it in the Telegram, okay? And I'm about to give away some money in there too. You know how I like to give away crypto. At least you give it away at the highs, not at the lows. So this is happening. Also, if you're new to this channel, or if you've been following me for any time, you know, I've been teaching this thing called DeFi, or decentralized, you know, finance or trading, whatever you want to call it, for a while. And all that means is that you have control over your money. When your money sits in a bank or in an institution, they have control. They can trade it, right? You have to give your email, your passport, your license, all these like things. And oh, real quick, y'all got to share this link with a friend that needs to learn about this stuff. So invite a friend on here as soon as you can, okay? Now, here's why, is we just do it because we were told. Go to work, go to school, that whole story, right? Put money in the bank. How many of y'all were told that leaving money in the bank is a safe place? In the chat, I want you to let me know by putting a 1 in the chat if you've been told that putting money in the bank is a safe place. And I'm going to show you something here right off the FDIC website. In 2023, do you guys remember what happened? Some of the biggest banks in the US collapsed. And the Fed, the Federal Reserve, yeah, the boy, Jerome Powell, had to bail them out. See, you know what's crazy? Is we have people from all around the world on the stream right now. And you guys were all told the same thing. That sounds like a scam. That sounds like one of those triangle things, right? Why? Because the system was designed for you to lose. The system, and I'm probably going to get my YouTube shut down here. And that's why you got to get in the Telegram in case my YouTube gets turned off. The system was designed to take from you. The financial markets are not your friend. Most people know what, 90, 95% of people in the financial markets, what do? Do they win or do they lose? They lose. And in 2023, these banks got exposed because what do banks do? They take your money, they trade your money, they risk that money, And these banks, First Republic Bank, Signature Bank, Silicon Valley Bank. Silicon Valley Bank helps the startup companies in the US and Silicon Valley, like they're holding a lot of that cash. And they went under for like 200 billion or whatever it was. Isn't that an issue? But the Fed had to print more money, bail them out. Now what is happening? Okay. The crypto, okay, look, two things. One, crypto firms are getting bank licenses, which means crypto companies like Coinbase will be able to operate as a bank. And then you have banks that now have the approval from the OCC as of May 7th to start holding your crypto assets. So you're going to start to get texts, phone calls, right? How many of y'all get spam messages, right? They just don't stop calling you. They just don't stop calling. I got so many spam text messages. They're going to do that now. Your bank's going to call you here soon and say, hey, Katie, hey, Marcel, hey, Camelia, hey, Gabriella, interested in buying crypto or interested in letting us hold your crypto and we'll give you XYZ percentage. And you're going to be like, what? 8%, 10% on USDC, maybe, or Bitcoin or Ethereum. And what are people going to do? They're going to fall for that. Here's what I would advise every person on this call to do here today. Get a ledger. When you buy your crypto, you send it to your ledger. People always love to ask, which one do you like, Mike? Look, I don't care. I have like 5, but Nano X is easy because it has the Bluetooth. Okay, that's why. If you have more than that number in your portfolio, that's why you need a ledger. Because what happens if you give the bank your crypto or you give the crypto or you leave the crypto in your exchange? You don't own this. Put it 2 if you're taking notes here. You don't own this. This is what we call a seed phrase. A seed phrase is 12 to 24 words, randomly sequenced from a list of 2,000 words. That seed phrase is specific to your coins. Let me give you an example. I had a laptop. I was in an event in Connecticut 2 or 3 years ago. It was really cold. I had like this huge jacket on. I brought the laptop with me. Like I was holding it like this. This is a different one. I had the laptop like this. I'm getting out. Somehow, I guess I just left it in the Uber. Okay. Uber drops me off. Uber drops me off at my hotel. 3 girls get into the Uber. Okay. So they're dropping me off at my hotel. The Uber's picking up these 3, 4 girls. They were going out for sure. You could just tell. And it was super cold. Freezing in Connecticut. I'll never go back. Just kidding. Connecticut, it's all right. Anyways, I get to my room and I realize, oh my God, my laptop's in the Uber. So I call the driver. I text the driver. He's like, bro, I just dropped them off at a nightclub in like New Haven, Connecticut. I don't see the laptop in the back. I think a girl took it. And she put it like in her coat, right? She went like this and he thinks he saw her. Then I start tracking the laptop. JD says he remembers the story. I start seeing my laptop in like within like 2 or 3 hours start to go from Connecticut to New York City. And then it just turns off and they sold it on the black market. Why do I share that story? Is because I had like 2 or 3 Ethereum in my wallet because I was trading stuff while I was traveling. But guess what? I had my seed phrase, so I didn't panic. I texted somebody to come pick me up at the airport when I got back to Miami. I had sent them $2,000 to buy me a new laptop. I opened up the laptop in the car, uploaded the seed phrase when I got home. The coins were still there, baby. Those girls didn't even know how to use that shit. Excuse my language. So it is what it is, right? So the seed phrase is your best friend. I'll share one more story, right? Somebody, if I say their name, everybody here would know the person. You know, they're in a certain industry, in the fighting industry, and you know they lost their crypto. They lost their crypto. Somehow I get involved with trying to help recover their crypto, and boom, we found 2 Bitcoin for them in their wallet because they had like a notebook of these like words, but they didn't have it organized. It was like in a notebook that you would give a first grader. And I'm just like, y'all are just ridiculous, but that's okay. So somehow I figure out the words, boom, 2 Bitcoin. This was when Bitcoin was at $20,000. And I'm not going to say names, but you know what's crazy? Is they thought it was a good idea to sell those Bitcoin and just take the money. 40K, 40, 50K. It definitely didn't change their life, so I don't know why they did it. Today, that would be worth $200,000. Haven't heard from them since. They're probably mad that they didn't listen to me. So anyways, I share those stories with you because the seed phrase matters, right? Put a 5 in the chat if you agree that the seed phrase matters. Put it in a safe place. Put it in multiple places. Also, don't put it on the phone. Don't put it anywhere digitally. Okay? Y'all got it? Super simple. Now, did y'all see this sketchy video that Brian Armstrong put out? It's actually not sketchy. He's the CEO of Coinbase. And this is important if you have Coinbase. Coinbase basically has been attacked. Where there's like a group of attackers, and I believe everybody's information should be fine, but there was a group of attackers that were just like trying to manipulate the agents to get personal information. And the attackers told Coinbase that they want $20 million or they're going to leak all this information. So basically, Brian Armstrong came out in this video and says they don't have too many people's information. It was less than 1% of the people, and it was no passwords or private keys or funds. So if you're holding your money in Coinbase or you have Coinbase, they would have contacted you already, which is what he says in the video. You can go watch it for yourself. And then he said, you know what? I'm going to go put a $20 million bounty on anybody that can lead to these hackers. Low key, I'm starting to like this guy. So he's fighting back and saying, hey, you know what? You're going to go after us? $20 million head, $20 million on your head. For a reward for information leading to the arrest and the conviction of the criminals responsible for this attack. Guys, give me 1 second. Pretty cool, huh? That's what we talk about, standing up for your customers. That's how you protect your customers. Some people can learn from that. You always got to remember this. You always put your clients and customers first. So massive respect. I have zero interest in partnering with Coinbase or anything like that. Haircut looks tough. We're still talking about it like 2 hours later. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. But I loved the response from Brian in that. And you can see here, he's actually in Capitol Hill trying to get that stablecoin bipartisan bill passed. So shout out to Brian, CEO of Coinbase. I'm not telling you to use Coinbase, but people like this push the industry further. Push the industry further. Because it's always people that screw things up. Would you guys agree? Because people are imperfect. And everybody has imperfections and flaws. And it's bad people in crypto that give crypto a bad name. All right, let's talk about a few things. And then we will answer some questions here for day one. You guys having a good time here on YouTube? 7 days straight. If you haven't seen the flyer, let me pull it up here again. We're going 7 days straight for free every day, 4 p.m. EST. Go to my last Instagram post and you can comment T and the number 1 for the Telegram, or I'll put it in the chat again. And actually, let me just pin this. Okay, it's actually pinned now at the top of the chat. Let me know if you guys can see the pin message. I put my Instagram there because people get phished and they send money to scammers. Just send money to the real person, not even the scammers. I'm just kidding. I'm not asking for any money. Okay, I'm just kidding. Now, this is big. Mike Novogratz, who owns Galaxy Digital Holdings, right? This is a company that helped fund half the crypto projects in the beginning days of crypto. They are talking about taking and tokenizing their shares. This is going to be a narrative, guys, that is coming, and it's here. Tokenization of a share, of a house, of a plot of land, of real estate. It's here. Okay? I'm not going to talk about this today. It's here. What was this? Yesterday, we were talking about this. How JP Morgan settled the first tokenized treasury transaction on a public blockchain using what? Chainlink and Ondo. Do y'all know who this is? I remember landing in Quito, Ecuador. I was with my boy Jason. We land in Ecuador. I think Bitcoin, I forgot the price. I think Bitcoin was like at 11,000. And this guy starts saying some stuff and the media picks up on it. And then Bitcoin goes, I think it was like 7 to 11 or 7 to 4 in 2017. And boom, immediately market sells off. Do you know what he did that day and why he should be in jail, but he's not? Later, the report came out, I think it was like a couple years ago, that day or that week, JP Morgan bought $50 million of Bitcoin on their balance sheet that week. And then he had the nerve to start building a blockchain. He had the nerve to start building a blockchain, which is now called Connexus. Isn't that funny? And now, like, they're all working together. They got a damn JPM coin. It's just so funny to see when you believe in something, what happens years later. And we all bet, right? I bet on crypto pretty big over the past 7, 8 years. Maybe you have as well. I also trade and I also do stocks and options and stuff like that. Not too loud about it. But imagine betting. You know, everybody here, you have to bet on something in life. You know, I remember this move happening and people thought it was over. And then COVID, people thought it was over. And people definitely thought it was over recently. And then they thought it was over here. And then they thought it was over here. You know, and now they think it's over, right? Or they thought it was over like 2 weeks ago with the tariffs. Are y'all seeing the pattern? And what's really funny is when you study the Bitcoin halving, and you just put this like orange line every 4 years, before a halving, there's a crash. This time there was a crash after the halving and another correction after the halving. Well, the next halving, okay, is in 2028. I believe it's in like April or May. Where do you think we will be? Give me some price predictions. Yes, anyone can join that Telegram link. It's just some updates, things that I'm doing in the trading space. If I do some pop-up Zooms, all that stuff. Where do you think we'll be in 2028? Give me some price predictions. Let's get excited for a second. My phone hasn't stopped ringing. 300K. Good Lord. 400K, 150, 180. Okay, let me ask you this question. Would you agree that it's going to be at a higher price than it is today? Yes or no in the chat. Would you agree in the next 4 years that it'll be at a higher price than it is today? Remember, 2016, I know I'm looking at the Binance chart, but 2016, it was down. So if you agree that it's going to be at a higher price today, then what are you doing not studying? What are you doing not learning? What are you doing not having a plan? What are you doing not paying for mentorship? What are you doing not understanding this? Because I believe, like, this chart, like, And I know this is crazy, but when you look at Bitcoin like this, okay, and then we go dual screen here. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. And we go dual screen here. And what do they compare Bitcoin to? They compare it to the S&P 500. I know the chart may look a little, let's go to the monthly here. Like, look at all of the, leave it on monthly. Actually, you know, let's go to weekly here. There we go, 2 week. Huge rally, push down, boom, another way. I think if we compare this, we are here, and it's sort of similar to like here in the S&P 500. That's what I would kind of say in that type of like rally, right? You had the big price slows down, goes farther. Price slows down, makes another rally. So I don't know. I do think we're early. I don't like using that word, but for people that are haters or for people that are not studying this, I think you'll regret it in 5-10 years. I think you'll be at those like family parties in a decade and be like, damn, you took advantage, right? Oh, you didn't? Oh, whoa, whoa. Sit outside with the kids. So anyways, this week's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be streaming here every day at 4 p.m. EST. I will look for some trades, you know, here and there. Tomorrow, we're going to do a little bit of a free class of market structure, understanding why price does what it does. But I do think Bitcoin's going to take this. Maybe we get something like that. Price probably rips to the downside here. Maybe even goes for this. I wouldn't short this right now because the money that's sitting up there as well. We are going sideways, but if price does sweep and price comes in here, we could see something like that to the upside. Ethereum as well. I think Ethereum is going to take this out. And it's good that we're recording all this because it's all going to be on the channel. I'd like to see ETH do something like that. Y'all can drop some questions in the chat. I'll answer a couple questions. Tomorrow we'll really hit some charts. Will you be sending out exits? I'm gonna drop a few things in the Telegram. I'll drop a couple trades. But yeah, I will cover different exit points. Like, here's the thing for Solana. Solana already filled this candle, so Solana's probably gonna. This whole market looks like it wants to flush. Then go. I don't see any reason to press buy right now. I think it's just going to take it out. I think everything's about to make a move to the downside. Damn, I would have shorted that. I mean, this is not a bad level here. It's... in the chat, how many of you guys trade crypto or invest in crypto or both? People are texting me. It says Telegram link is expired. Can you guys try clicking the Telegram link? I'm gonna put it again. Telegram sometimes is tripping. Copy. Yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys do. Well, let me try to grab this replace pin. All right, try clicking that Telegram if it works. Let me know if that works. Invest, both, invest, trying to learn how to trade. Yeah, I would highly suggest learning how to trade crypto. And when you learn how to trade crypto, you can trade every single other market. I'm not against this. If y'all want to take a buy position here, I mean, this is a little bit. I'm not really confident in this, which is probably why I won't. Nah, that already failed. We will definitely look for some levels. I think that's just gonna flush though. Nah, I wouldn't touch that. ETH is breaking structure. ETH is probably gonna continue down. I don't like where the market's sitting at right now. It works? Okay, cool, guys. Yeah, it's pinned at the top. So please click that one. It works now. Uh, it's good. Okay, cool. Do you use prop firms? No, I don't. I'm not against them. I've just always been more of I don't know. I think it's cool, but just be careful. Make sure you withdraw. I will go over this inside of the Telegram, guys. I dropped that ICP setup. This is for your portfolio. So this is actually coming now into the entry level. Here are 2 exits for me. I gave this publicly, so I'll give this to you guys here. I like this level here to be averaging into ICP. Even if we dip to $4, I'm cool with that. So this is what we call like an exchange idea or a portfolio play. Are you trading stock options? I do trade stock options for myself. I buy call options. I'll give you one free play on that. Snapchat. I think Snapchat's going to do very well. I know that sounds crazy, but there are people making stupid amounts of money on Snapchat. Price just swept these lows. That's what I was waiting for. Swept 3 years of lows. I'd let price kind of slow down here, but I think Snapchat's going to make a move. And the moment that we get above this money, I'd probably get out. 19, 20, $21. I'd probably get out. Hi, Mike. Sorry I'm late. No worries. Hey, Mike, what is the best platform to invest? Just Google. You know, with stocks, you definitely have to be more careful and you got to use regulated stuff. So you got to use US regulated stuff. Thanks for streaming, Mike. I don't know what to do with myself without. Yeah, I got you, man. Did Powell speak this morning, guys? I've been so busy. I don't know. Did he? He might have. There were some red folders today. Yeah, I'll go over some fib settings tomorrow. Unfortunately, we cannot do options in Europe. Well, maybe you'll be able to do crypto options one day. I think that'll be something that I'm excited to teach. I think I covered that yesterday a little bit. He was scheduled, but no fireworks. Yeah, guys, you know, this is and we'll close it out with this. I have a webinar I need to get on. You know, we're really leading into June, and something that I've kind of stuck with for a long time, a couple years, is it doesn't make sense for them to cut rates when the market is down. It makes sense for them to cut rates when the market is up. And then you have maybe a slight pullback and then just boom, euphoria. Boom, interest rate narrative. We're going to keep cutting, keep cutting, keep cutting. And then they stop cutting. And then the market corrects itself. So I really believe from a macro perspective, because in the markets, we look at it in macro, which is bigger picture, right? Longer term. And then a micro, which is like, you know, trading or shorter term. In the macro, like, it doesn't make sense for them to cut rates. They needed to buy. They need to continue to accumulate. And when they accumulate enough, right, whoever the smart money is or the wealthy or the whatever, the decision makers, then they're going to send this thing flying. And I don't see any reason in any world why this is not, why Ethereum is not above 4,000 or 5,000. Maybe this year, maybe soon, maybe sooner than we all think. I do invest, but not so consistent. Like trading crypto is not hard. Here's the hard part. It's the emotional part. because it moves so fast sometimes. And also, like, this was a, you know, if you're one of my students and you've been following me, like, we had these Bitcoin shorts right here. Let me know in the chat if you guys caught some of these Bitcoin shorts. We had like take profit one here, and then we were looking at these lows that got swept here. You know, we made money on the way down here. That was like 2 days. Like that one trade, like you're done for like the week, definitely, maybe even the month. But with crypto, it's 24/7. So you feel like you need to go back into the market. You need to keep trading, and then you blow your account. Or you make $1,000 and then you give 700 back because you're greedy. Will you do more in-depth training on how to trade crypto and leverage? Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to go over market structure. So definitely be here. And I'll try to give you guys like the topic of the day before the next day so you guys kind of know. But regardless, I would be here. I would be here in the chat. And also, guys, the Telegram is pinned at the top. And hopefully it's working for everybody. Feel free to send that out. Anybody can join that. It's free chat. I posted one exchange play in there. And I'm gonna post a couple more things in there in the next couple of days. But from a chart standpoint, I think the market's gonna flush down. I don't see this holding. I don't see it. So we need to wait for price to slow down. If you're one of my students and plugged in, we had this Salana set up right here. Let me know in the chat if you guys caught this Salana move. But we actually hit take profit 3 at 180 or 181. I sent that out to a lot of different people. And I can review that one, and then we'll wrap up. You know, this was real simple. Equal lows. A sell to buy candle or institutional candle, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't care. This was one of my targets, but then we waited for the market to pull back. And then we took 50% of that sell candle. We can just draw it like this. 50 to 80% of that sell candle. We had an entry at 1,425 and then like 144. And our stop loss, our risk, was under that wick. So when you look at this, we build the trade. You're always building a position in leverage or in portfolio. So we had our risk. We had 2 entries. We had exit 1. I think we had exit 2. And then exit 3 was at 181. I know that, or 180. And that was the trade. Yeah, a lot of our, look at Aaron hit it. Gabriella, Gregorio. All that stuff. Will Bitcoin reach 120K by the end of the summer? I think it can hit it. Bitcoin can do that this week if it wants to. But based on the chart now, what makes sense to me is we see some fear. It can't just go like straight to the, you know what I'm saying? It's got to build liquidity. It's got to get you thinking. We could easily see this. And then boom, so fast. Okay. Guys, I hope y'all had some fun here today. I look forward to seeing you guys. Who's going to come back tomorrow, 4 p.m. EST? Let me know in the chat if you'll be back the next 7 days. So today was day 1. We'll be back live tomorrow. Mike doesn't miss. I do miss. I take losses like everybody else. But I appreciate you in that comment. And in the YouTube chat, pinned at the top, make sure you guys get in that Telegram. Feel free to send it out in whatever group chat you're in. Anybody can join. It's just real chill in there. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for day number 2. We'll talk about market structure tomorrow, Bitcoin dominance charts, things like that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do yourself a favor and do that. And any feedback, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, DeFi Mike Sotero. Any questions you have, I do my best to reply to as many questions and things like that in this season as possible. Okay? Y'all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.